And here we have the Google Pixel 9a Obsidian matte black. A very nice looking aluminum matte black rail. That is really nice. Power button, volume rocker, speaker, USB Type-C charging port, mic, SIM tray, top mic, front camera, a lot of bezel, but that doesn't bother me. The camera on the back protrudes just a tad bit. Got your flash there. So sitting down on a rough surface, yeah, I wouldn't do that. No rocking though. That's nice to see. Yeah, that is nice. Really nice. All right, so this is the 8 gig of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. There is the option for 256 gigs of storage with 8 gig of RAM, $499, 128, 256, $599. I got the 256 gigs of storage. You got a 6.3 OLED POLED display, up to 120 Hz refresh rate, Tensor G4 chipset, 48 megapixel main camera on the back, and a 13 megapixel ultra wide. And I'm sure that the pictures and the video quality are going to be amazing. 5100 milliamp battery. So I'm sure that battery life for me, once I get the reviewing process started, is going to be great. I don't see there being a problem. Now, I wanted originally to get the porcelain, but they didn't have that in stock at the 256 gig of storage. So I was a little disappointed, so went ahead and went with the Obsidian. On the front, you do have a 13 megapixel shooter there. You'll be able to get 4K 30 frames per second, 1080p 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second. And on the rear, you'll be able to get 4K 3060, 1080p 3060, 120, 240 frames per second as well. You will have electronic image stabilization and optical image stabilization. But yeah, what I'm going to do is get it set up and then just go through the device itself really quick, and then I'll go ahead and start the reviewing process. I do have to get a screen protector. I have one on order. Well, actually, it's a package coming from Amazon that's going to have 3 screen protectors, tempered glass screen protectors for the 6.3 POLED flat display, which, by the way, before I forget, this is IP68 water and dust resistant. And right up top, right along the edge, you are going to have your speaker that doubles up with the earpiece. And I think that's pretty much the specs. As far as wireless charging, you're going to be able to get that. Bam, just like that. This device is going to go up against this device. 469 smacks, the Nothing Phone 3A Pro. Obviously, a much bigger device here with a huge camera bump back there, a camera island. Little camera bump there. Kind of a unique design in comparison to the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. If I can get this case off. This case is on there. I'm going to use my, there we go. Makes it so much easier when I use a micro cloth to pull off those very tight cases. But obviously, a whole different design going on with the Pixel 9a in comparison to the 9 Pro XL as far as that camera island. Again, the camera area there does protrude just a tad bit, so I would definitely sport a case. As far as thickness, about the same. Nothing phone, a little bit thicker there, obviously wider. But yeah, I'm going to start the reviewing process with the 9A, and then I'll start doing some comparison pics and other areas to see which one I would suggest would be the better buy. $499, 128 gigs of storage. If you want the 256, $599. You can trade in a device, bring the cost down of the 9A. Over at the Nothing website, they don't take trade-ins, so this is going to just cost you 469 smacks. The difference is, well, obviously it's going to be bigger, so you're going to have a bigger display as well with very little bezel in comparison to the 9A. But this specific device here has 256 gigs of storage with 12 gigs of RAM, under 500 smacks. Okay, so really quick, I'll get this device going and I'll be right back. By the way, I am shooting this video with the S21 Ultra, so please let me know how everything looks, how everything sounds. I do not have my Muana mic plugged into the S21 Ultra, so everything you're seeing, hearing, bam, from one of my all-time favorite devices, the S21 Ultra. By the way, you are going to get all of that Google AI goodness as far as Gemini, Circle to Search, AdMe, and Studio. As far as the fingerprint reader, under display fingerprint reader, nice and speedy. Yeah, I'm digging that. Face unlock, fast. Bam. Wow, that is really fast. Okay, so if we go into settings, basically this is what you're going to see with your Pixel devices. I'm not going to go into a lot here. I just wanted to give you a look at the device itself. Again, a very nice matte aluminum rail, black plastic matte back that just feels really, really nice. Really nice. And it's not leaving fingerprints. As far as the brightness, you're going to get at peak brightness 2076 nits, which is going to be a little bit higher than the other models from previous generations. The iPhone 6e manages to reach a peak of 1208 nits. My Nothing Phone 3a Pro, 1259 nits. So you are going to get a pretty darn bright display. Yeah, that is nice. That is really, really nice. Okay, that's it. Let me know your thoughts. Did you receive your Google Pixel 9a? What color did you get? Are you still on the fence? If you are, continue to watch Team My Project 13 because I got a lot coming your way with the Google Pixel 9a. And with that, peace. I'm out.